Hello, everybody. This is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports. Coming to you today to talk to you about something that's been brewing on my mind for the last week or so, and that is the Biogenesis situation. Um, Obviously, I don't agree with athletes who take steroids and athletes that try to cheat the sport that they play in. But the one thing that's bothering me about this whole situation is that the people that obtained information from Biogenesis only released the names of baseball players. When it's been reported to multiple people or multiple outlets that almost every organization has players on the list of people who've been linked to Biogenesis, the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, UFC, and even college sports. And I think it's kind of garbage that the sports media, the general media, singles out baseball and targets baseball all the time. Granted, like I said, I don't agree with the people that have taken steroids, but how come we're not hearing about the other sports? How come we're not hearing about the other names on that list? Because to me, if you're taking steroids in college, because the NCAA athletes from, the NCAA were on there, if you're taking steroids in college, and there's a big problem with that, and that needs to be addressed. Steroid users in any sport need to be addressed, not just baseball. And that's what it's been seeming like to me for the last couple of years, is it's always baseball that gets targeted. You never hear about it in hockey, basketball, football, mixed martial arts, college sports. And I don't get why it's just always baseball. And it's kind of funny because I'm a pro wrestling fan, as you all know, and it's funny how they don't target pro wrestling anymore, because the WWE, Vince McMahon and the company has cracked down on performance enhancing drugs. I mean, they'll suspend a guy for taking like over the counter medicine if it's not prescribed to him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how strict the WWE enforcement is, and it's sad. And this is a sad truth of it. Nothing's ever going to change in sports that have these problems unless something terribly tragic happens. I mean, look at the WWE, for example. It took Chris Benoit killing his wife and kid and committing suicide for WWE to enforce a strict wellness policy. In NASCAR, and then I'm not even talking about performance enhancing drugs. I'm talking about safety. It took the greatest driver of all time, Dale Earnhardt, dying in a race to enforce safety rules. What's it going to take, for football? I mean, is it going to take, a guy like Tom, I'm not saying Tom Brady's a steroid user, or is he going to take a top level steroid user to kill his family, kill himself, or whatever? Same can be said in any sport. What if LeBron James is taking steroids? I mean, the Biogenesis clinic is in Miami, and like I said, what if LeBron James had roid rage and killed some people? Well, is that what it would take? I mean, this is just all hypothetical situations, but if they don't crack down on this stuff now, and I'm not just talking baseball, I'm talking every sport in America. If they don't crack down on it soon, something terribly tragic will happen to somebody in the sport. These athletes are gonna stop being looked at as role models. And I one of the reasons I stopped looking up to Hulk Hogan so much, now growing up as an adult, because I was a huge Hogan fan, is, he took steroids, and he's admitted he's taken steroids. But I asked myself, why would I want to be like somebody that, damages their body and, alters their body to try and get ahead? Yes, granted, the whole, Hollywood thing came from Hollywood Hogan. But, that was just a personality thing, and that's why, when guys like Shawn Michaels became a born-again Christian, I looked up to somebody like him, and even a guy like CM Punk who, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, and doesn't do drugs. That's a good role model. That's a good role model for people. These guys like Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, all these guys that are like the steroids or now on this Biogenesis list, they're not role models. They're not heroes. They're cheaters. They're liars. They're, they're damaging this, the professional sports world as we know it. So I'm just begging and pleading with somebody to find out who is on the list of Biogenesis, other than the baseball players. That's all I want to hear. I want to know who's cheating in what game. I want to know who's trying to get ahead in each sport, because I'll tell you right now, I sure as hell won't pay my hard-earned money to watch cheaters and liars. I don't. This is why I, don't watch ESPN very much anymore, Fox Sports, and I try to do my own thing on Hollywood's World of Sports, obviously. So I'm sick of turning around every single second and hearing about baseball and Biogenesis. I want to hear about football, basketball, hockey, college sports, the UFC, anybody that has had their name on Biogenesis. Let's hear all the names. That's all I'm saying. And I could go on and on about, why we should release all the names, but the simple fact of the matter is it's time to stop targeting baseball by itself and target every sport in this country. So that's my rant on Biogenesis, steroids, and PEDs for the day. It's been on my mind for a while. Just something that's been bothering me about why it was just baseball that got targeted and not all the other sports. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this situation first and foremost. So I'm curious to hear what other people are thinking and saying about this topic. So with that being said, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, your source for all things sports. And as always, controversy doesn't come without criticism. Thanks, and have a great day.